Let's move on. King 9 and clubs from low jack. Let's see. Yep, we open it up. Call from the button. Multiway. Let's go. We haven't had one single multiway spot so far. Ace 4-4. What is your... You go ahead and bet.
Yeah, I think I'm almost always checking here, but I think the button was a recreational player, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I believe that I just wasn't going to be getting floated very much. And I don't know if the big blind was a recreational player or not. What's his name?
GM Walter. No, he's a good reg.
Oh, he's a good reg, yeah. So he might be check raising in decent frequency with his like 5-6 hearts and whatnot. But yeah, I thought it was just going to be profitable.
Okay, this is a spot where I think, yeah, I would disagree with you. It's just because combination-wise, it just we block a ton of hands that we want to make them for, like all the king high clubs. We don't block any good calling hands. Like even if it's king queen and spades, you know, he might continue. We don't block the typical ace-x hands that he would flat. Like it's so much better to bluff with a hand, let's say like jack 10 or 10-9. Ace king is always 3-betting. So yeah, I like usually we don't have any obvious draws, so we should be picking hands that have good blocker effects. And just mathematically, like blocking king queen and clubs or king jack and clubs, what we're trying to fold out from buttons range, we're not so much concerned about big blind. He's gonna have whiffed this board quite frequently, but like just blocking those folding hands is I don't think we want to pick those hands, even though we choose small sizing.
So I think you're obviously right against we're playing a computer. Personally, I think that one of the differences that you and I have in just the way that we think about poker is the value and emphasis that we put on blockers. And I noticed that in the last video as well. That when I'm playing against recreational players, I'm really rarely thinking about blockers because the spots are so high EV in one way or the other. The blockers, you know, they add EV and they take away EV depending on the spot. And it can be significant, but from my experience, it's nowhere near as significant as just knowing how recreational players play and being able to exploit that.
Yeah, I mean, if they start flatting a hand like, you know, king 3 in hearts here, or they have like 8-6 and they have like jack 7 suited, then of course we can go ahead and see bet this board much wider. So this is, of course, where you need to have a good understanding of what type of recreational is he. Is he just, you know, straightforward, tight recreational? Is he more like the loosey-goosey calling station that just, you know, he flats like 40% of his hands here on the button? He might even have like jack 9 off.
The loosey-goosey is now like a solid part of our vocabulary. Thanks.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is where if I see someone plays like, you know, 50-20 V per PFR, or he just, you know, is flatting a lot, then I see reasons. But as a baseline, I would not see bet this even with a recreation involved.
Yeah, fair enough. And like I said, like most of the time, 90% of the time I'm checking, but sometimes I just get a feeling that recreational players, like for instance in this spot, I think that they're going to be folding way too much on the flop. Like most recreational players, at least. I didn't have reads on this specific dude, but if they are folding way too much on the flop, then suddenly our c-bet just becomes super profitable, like with any two cards.
So the turn is the 9 in diamonds. You decide to call.
Yeah, I don't like it, honestly. Yeah. I remember doing this and I tanked on the turn for ages. And I think it was just one of those spots where I convinced myself that he could still have like 7s and just be like betting for protection / whatever. It's just a recreational player. Yeah. But I think he just has so many combos at base X that I think I'm
yeah, I mean, it's sick that he doesn't value bet ace queen there on the river.
Yeah, it's counts 50 fine. Yes, so queen doesn't play.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And it opens up the doors for Charlie Carrel, you know, king 9, blocking a lot of boats.
I've got all the boat blockers. Let me punt into a recreational player that's never folding an ace. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the turn call's just stupid, honestly. And I think I was annoyed at myself after that. If you're enjoying the way that I'm speaking about poker, teaching poker, I do have a website, charliecarrel.com. Link is in the description below.
You'll find on there a mindset masterclass, which I think is the most important, teaching you how to deal with tilt, anxieties, ambition, things like that. You'll find a poker masterclass, completely teaching you how to restructure the way that you think about poker. And you'll find a complete archive of the bankroll challenge.